Discussing two lessons today, lesson 19A and lesson 19B. Alright, so these will be assigned today, Wednesday, May 27th. However, the way that you complete these assignments are going to be a little bit different. So, I'm going to first state that lesson 19A, revising combined paragraphs, that is kind of going to be your final draft. So therefore, you will not submit lesson 19A until next week, Wednesday, June 3rd. Alright, this will be your working final draft. However, lesson 19B will be due today. Right? And what this does is this focuses on word choice. So you will basically edit your final essay that you have put onto lesson 19A. You're going to edit this specifically for word choice. And when you have finished that, you then submit this lesson. And it's asking you to do some specific things in here. Okay? So I'm going to first discuss what to do for lesson 19A, because you got to start with lesson 19A in order to do lesson 19B. Okay? Lesson 19A. What it's asking you is to copy and paste your beginning, your middle, and your end from your beginning, middle, and end lessons. All right, so lessons 16, 17, and 18. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do that. There's two methods to do it. So what you would do, you start with the beginning, right? So I'm just going to use lesson 19B as kind of an example here. So pretend this is the beginning of your essay. You highlight the paragraphs that you have in your beginning, and you copy it. If you're using a mouse, it's right-click. If you're using the trackpad, it's two-finger click. And then you can always just use the shortcut of Control-C is copy, the shortcut. You hold down the Control key and you press C, or two-finger click or right-click, copy. Okay? You then bump on over to lesson 19A, two-finger click, paste, right? And then it should paste over your beginning paragraphs. Or if you want Command or Control, if you hold that down and press the key, the letter V as in Victor, that pastes as well. Okay? So let's pretend that these are my beginning paragraphs. Alright, so first off, I want to make sure that they're indented, right? And that they are also centered and non-italicized. There we go. Make sure that my two paragraphs are indented. Right, so this is my beginning paragraphs. Then what I would do is I'd go into my middle paragraphs and copy and paste those in. And then I'd go into my end assignment and copy and paste that in as well. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have a working final draft. And this is where you're going to be making all of your edits. Okay? And this will be your final draft that you submit next Wednesday. So, using this, we then bump on over. You don't submit this yet. Don't submit lesson 19A. You then bump on over to lesson 19B. Okay? So lesson 19B focuses on the concept of word choice for revision. And what word choice is it is making the conscious decisions of using better words to increase your writing style. All right? So we kind of focus on expression or emotion. We focus on weak verbs, and we focus on what we call dead words. And that is going to, by focusing on those things, that's going to increase your writing style and then therefore give you a better grade and a better strategies of writing sentences and writing an essay. So I'm going to go through lesson 19B and discuss what is required, and then we'll be good to go. All right, then you'll get lesson 20 tomorrow as well. So first part of lesson 19B, word choice. So we're going to focus on feelings expressed. You are expected to identify 3 feelings that should be expressed in your narrative. And what you do is you read your narrative, or you reflect on your narrative, and you find those 3 feelings that you have discussed. You write those feelings here. Could be happy, sad, excited. Okay? And then you copy and paste from your essay, so from lesson 19A, let's say this is the sentence that I use that is exciting. All right, so I copy that, so two-finger click, copy. All right, identify this as exciting. Oops, exciting. And then it says here, Review your essay to ensure you have expressed those feelings in an essay under each listing below. When reviewing, consider, did this scene event really express the feeling emotion I wanted the reader to feel? All right, and then you copy and paste that in. So what that does is that proves the fact that you are expressing the emotion of excitement. But then if you read this and you're like, man, that doesn't really convey the feeling of excitement, then how can you revise it to make it more exciting, right? And that's what this is forcing you to do. Analyze your writing for those emotions and to write more specific sentences that evoke or provoke that emotion from the reader, okay? And you do that 3 times. If you can't find 3 emotions, then that means you need to find or write another one, okay? Verb strength. So verbs are action words. So using strong verbs is another way to improve word choice, all right? So it improves your draft, or to improve your draft, select 5 weak verbs from your narrative. All right, so I have one here. Let's say we use the weak verb of looked, right? So he looked at the mountains. That's great, but it doesn't really convey a strong image in the reader's mind. So instead, we should replace that or find other options. And then certain stronger verbs are more fitting depending on the context of the sentence. So I wrote down 3 strong verbs in place to replace the word or the verb looked. And that could be gazed, pondered, studied. Right? And there's plenty of others. You can look up synonyms to the word looked. But what these do is they convey different images to the reader. So the word gazed is completely different than the word pondered. Gazed is like, he kind of dreamingly looks at the mountains. He kind of just gazes at it. Okay? The word pondered has that concept of perplexity. Like he is questioning the mountains. Like he sees something odd and he's kind of questioning what he's seeing. Has more of a pondered, like an eyebrow up in the air sort of look, right? And then studied is a very critical look, right? He's studying it intensely, right? So that's studied. Gives very different images to what is happening in the story. So that's what you do. You identify 5 weak verbs, and then you switch them out. You come up with some different options, and then you replace that. When you have done that, fix it in your final draft. So when you have done that, you bump on over to 19A, and you're like, there's my term looked. Let me replace that real fast with the word gazed instead. So you might want to backspace that, and you're like, okay, no, I want gazed there instead, right? And you do that when you have completed your 5 weak verbs. And if you want to go through and replace more weak verbs with stronger verbs, do it. That's going to increase your writing style and therefore give you a better grade on your essay. Okay, and then lastly, we have dead words. Dun dun dun. Dead words are great. What they do, if you use dead words, is it lowers your writing style, your proficiency of writing. It just makes it sound very simple. So what we do is we identify those dead words and we try to get rid of them. And then that therefore increases your writing style and makes it sound more cohesive and more scholarly, right? And that's the goal. So when writing, we often use the words that are very simple. They lower the caliber or quality of our writing, and they tend to fill dead space, right? And if we try to get rid of these, what we call dead words, it just increases our writing style. So here is a list of dead words, and these last 3 are dead phrases. So what you want to do is go through your essay, maybe highlight every dead word that you've used, and try to replace them. Because by the time you submit your essay, by the time you submit 19A here next Thursday, I expect to see only 20 or less dead words, and those 20 dead words should be highlighted in your essay. Okay? If you have less than 20, awesome. If you have more than 20, that will impact your grade on your essay. Okay, so please highlight your dead words that you have identified, and I just recommend going through your entire essay, go through this list, and search. Search for those dead words. You can even, in a Google document, you can do, I believe it's Control F. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to move my little, whoop, there it is. Control F, and if I look up the word got, right? All right, I always recommend putting a space after. It's not showing up. However, maybe, let's say when is a dead word. It's not, but let's say it is. When, space. It highlights all my dead words for me, right? Then I might want to go in and I highlight these myself just to make sure I know that they're there, because when you search up a new dead word, those highlights are going to disappear, right? You go through and you highlight them. Boom, boom. All right, so then maybe I want to look up another dead word of, the word maybe you. Okay, it's not a dead word either, right? And then boom, man, look at all those dead words. I go through and highlight those. Then what you do is when you have identified your dead words, you want to go through and try to change them, okay? And maybe you can't change them. Maybe it's like, man, I just can't do it. Then you can leave it. Leave it highlighted though, okay? But what you do is you go through this list, you highlight all the dead words. So go and use that Control F is what I did. You hold down the Control button and you press the letter or the key F. And then you just search for those dead words and highlight them. You can only have 20. All right, so the word said is one of the easiest ones to get rid of. Don't use the word said. Use other words like shouted, elaborated, commented, right? There's tons of words that you can use in place of the word said. And there's actually a whole lesson on the word said as well that we will do this week. All right, so those are your dead words. Those are your dead words, and you need to go through and try to get rid of as many as possible with 20 or less in your essay. Okay, so when you finish 19B, you can go ahead and submit it, and then 19A will not be submitted. Just keep that in mind. That will be submitted next week on the 3rd, all right, next Wednesday. All right, so that is the process for these lessons, and I will be doing another video tomorrow for lesson 20, and I will talk to you guys later.